tutorial for you today, and this was requested with the other lip. So I did do this look with two different lips because I think it was in my favourite drugstore foundations video that I wore this look, and so many of you requested it, so I said I'd recreate it for you. I thought it'd be a good one because you know, prom season coming up and wedding season, you can nearly use this for either depending on the lip and how strong you want to go and stuff like that. But I just think it's a really gorgeous, striking, wearable look, but especially with the orange lip, it's still quite punchy. A lot of the products I'm using for the first time, so it is pretty much a first impressions video, and I am chatting quite a bit, so hopefully I'll be able to edit it down so it doesn't take you forever to watch it. I did moisturize already, and the foundation I'm going to be using today is this guy here, which I just repurchased. It's the Show Good Face 2-in-1 energizing foundation and primer in one, and it's by Soap and Glory. I love this guy. I showed it in my favorite drugstore foundations video. You need to give it a good shake just to activate the primer and the foundation. Being a bit bold here and using a dirty foundation brush, well, one that I used already like yesterday, which I rarely would ever do, but I really want to use it for this video and I didn't have the foresight to clean it. So it's the Sephora modeling foundation brush. It's this guy here, number 111. It's just a really cool foundation brush, looking foundation brush anyhow. And I'm just going to pop that all over the face. I'm not going to go crazy with foundation yet because I'm going to finish up the skin after the eyes, as I usually do. This shade, the lightest one, which is that guy there, the fairest of them all, it's quite a nice tone for pale skin because it's quite neutral, so whether you're warm or cool you could probably get away with it. I really like how it just sits on the skin. It just gives the skin a really lovely, like your skin but better kind of look. Then for concealer, I actually picked up these guys because I've heard so many people raving on about them, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Double Wear Concealer with an SPF of 10. I got light and warm light, and this is supposed to be like the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC but better. It is similar. I'm not sure if it's as much coverage. I probably will get all of them for my kit though because I love how it looks on the skin. It's very similar to the Pro Longwear concealer, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not really sure if it's the exact same coverage. I'm going to have to do a side-by-side comparison at some stage to check that out, but I'm just popping the light anyhow all over my eye area. Next for primer, I'm going to use this guy here by W7, and it's their Prime Magic Eye Primer. I hadn't really heard much about this before I bought it, but the consistency is just like the Urban Decay one, say. So yeah, just that kind of slightly strange, sticky, transparent kind of formula. And I'm only going to put it on the moving part of my lid. This kind of formula, it's the kind of one that if you put on too much and over blend it in, it'll just kind of bunch up on top of itself and go all weird. So you have to make sure you apply just enough. You like make sure you don't apply too much, and don't kind of overwork it. Once it's on, and just leave it. And of course then for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be using this baby here from SmashBox. It's the Full Exposure palette, which I like how that looks on the outside, and I think I'm mainly going to be using like the gold here, which is the third one over, and then these three warmer colours. So I do kind of prefer the warmer side, which is on the left side. I'm being bold again and using another dirty brush, but this is the one that came with the palette, so I'm just going to clean it off. And it's this one here. So it's kind of interesting with the eyeshadow like side of the brush. It's a double-ended brush. There's a white side and a black side. So the black side is kind of, I think, the one supposed to be used with the glitter, and the white side is the one supposed to be used with the mattes, and then you have your blending brush here. So I'm going to start off and apply a highlight, which is that middle guy with the white side, and apply that underneath my brows. A few of you have noticed that I've gone a bit thinner with my brows, which I love the shape, even though I've gone a bit pluck crazy again. But what's driving me nuts is that I literally have to tweeze every day because they just grow like weeds, which is so annoying. And you can see there I have like, I don't know if it's shown on camera, but I get really bumpy from, I suppose, because the hairs grow through so quick. So it's kind of annoying when you want to wear a really bright highlight like this, because it does show through. I'm just going to apply some of that same highlight there. And then I'm going to flip it over onto the black side and pick up that kind of shimmery, I want to call it like a champagne gold. And I'm going to apply that to the centre of my lid. And then flip it around again, and I'm going to pick up that colour here, which is the second brownie. And it looks very like, say, maybe Cork or Wedge by MAC, and place that either side of the shimmery colour. And then flipping over to the blending side of the brush, which I just kind of cleaned off, I'm going to use that to use the same brown above the crease. This is a really nice shade of brown and they blend beautifully. So I'm a real big fan of this palette so far. Like I said, I haven't even really used the cooler side, like the greys and the more blue based ones, but I'll get around to it. Now I want to put some colour underneath my eye as well, but that eye brush is too big, so I'm going to move on to a small weak eye like this, which is the 228 by MAC. Picking up the same brown, I'm just going to apply that underneath the lower lash line, mainly using the tip of the brush. And then I'm just going to pick up my blending brush again and kind of look up to stretch the eye and just blend around the bottom of that. And then going back in with my 228 by MAC, I'm going to go into this darker colour here, which is very similar to maybe Espresso or Handwritten by MAC. It's maybe a tiny bit darker. And I'm going to apply that to the outer corner. Again, just pat it in place. And a little bit on the inner corner. And then I'm going to go back into the blending side, pick up the same brown and apply that above the crease again, just to deepen it. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that slightly lighter kind of malty brown colour and go around the very edge. And back in, I can't remember what brush I used for this last time. I think I'll use this little angle brush. It's just Sedona Lace EB23. Pick up the darkest brown again and apply that right up into the lash line. And then for my waterline, I'm going to use this guy here by Maybelline, and it's their Big Eyes liner. So it's a dual end liner. I used it in my Cartoon Girl tutorial. That was the one I used, like the white end was the white that I used. And the black, it's actually supposed to be used above the eye, but I'm going to use it on my crease. It doesn't come out super black at the crease, and I think it's obviously maybe because it's not really particularly designed for the crease. But I almost like that. Sometimes like blacks like feline or whatever can almost be a little bit too stark in the crease. So this is a nice step down. I feel like I want to deepen that crease a little bit more again, so I'm just going to continue to apply a little bit more of that darkest brown into the crease. I'm really just pushing that brush into where like my eyeball meets the socket. And I'm going to be using this guy here. So this is a really interesting pen. This is the Maybelline Lasting Drama Black Shock Gel Eyeliner. And the reason I picked this up is because everyone has their knickers in a twist over this new Benefit liner that's coming out. I don't think it's out here yet, but you know, loads of bloggers have been to events that have seen it and stuff like that. And then a subscriber told me that this was already in existence from Maybelline, so I picked it up today. I'm really interested to try it out. So basically what it is there's like actual gel liner in here, and this wee tip here is a rubber like dispenser, and there's gel liner, like the gel comes up through the center of that dispenser when you twist it. So you apply it like that. This is like totally new to me, so we're gonna have to see how it comes out. Move on to a small mirror. So it is angled, and you of course use the tip pointing up that way. So you're going with the shape rather than against the shape. It's a little bit messy, but it's probably just a case of getting used to using it. And then for the flick, I'll probably just turn it around so that the angle is twisting the other way. I'm definitely not doing it as neat as I would usually. I need a cotton bud to clean it up. I hope that didn't gross you out, me licking it, but everyone does that to their own cotton buds. Okay. I feel like I need to click it up again a little bit. And then for the flick, I'm just gonna kind of draw it pretty straight out. I feel like it's just not precise enough compared to what I'm used to. Particularly like for a very narrow or thin line. Like I said, it's probably just going to be a case of getting used to using it because it is so kind of strange. That's not too bad actually. I just want to see if I can get it that as tapered as I normally would. I think that'll do. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this on the other eye and then be right back to finish off the eyes. So that didn't go exactly to plan. It turned out a little bit thicker and like longer than I wanted it to be, but it's kind of really hard to get precise with this guy. I'd say it's not really for precision. It is supposed to be waterproof, so at least it'll last. And when I was trying to like clean away mistakes, it was really hard to like wipe away. I want to go back into my dark colour again though and apply a little bit of that dark brown back under here and just bring it up to the eyeliner, so it's not like there's a big gap between the eyeliner and my eye. So what I'm going to do now is apply plenty of mascara. I am loving my the InExtreme Dimension Lash by mascara. I keep saying that, by MAC lately. What I don't love is the full exposure mascara that came with the actual palette. It's just not really like floating my boat. So I'm going to stick with my MAC one and apply plenty of mascara to the top and then kind of pull the lashes out, and I'll apply a little bit to the bottom lashes as well. Okay, so with the eyes finished, and I'll do the brows after the skin, I'm going to reapply my, where is it gone? I'm going to reapply my concealer, under eye concealer, and then foundation and any other concealer I need to do. I won't show that because you've seen me doing it a million times, and then we can just move on to the brows and stuff. So I'll be right back after that. Okay, now that we're working back on the face again, I don't need to be so up close. What I'm going to use to set my base is this kick-ass Soap and Glory powder. It's the Instant Retouch Press Powder. I was like so impressed by how soft this felt in the store when I like stuck my finger in the tester in Boots, but it's not coming out as soft here for some reason. I don't know. It's the exact same product, but the one like the tester in store or in Boots was definitely softer, but it's still lovely on the face. So what I really like about it is that it's a yellow toned powder. So with the foundation being a little bit more neutral than what I'm used to, this, I feel like it brings that cool or yellow tone back into my face a little bit to match my neck and the rest of my body. And people were commenting recently about how I say like cool and warm in regards to cool being yellow and warm being pink, which is the opposite to what most people do. But I go by the MAC colouring system. I always have. It's the one that makes most sense to me because it actually goes it's the actual proper colour theory, because you know red, pink or red based is in the warm family, and yellow is neutral, but it can be either warm or neutral, or warm or cool. So because you don't wear like blue foundation, it's called cool. Now for brows, what I'm going to do is start off with this guy here, which is like a nub of a pencil because there's hardly any left, but it's just my Catrice pencil, the Dating Ashton one I think, and it has a spoolie on one end which is handy to just brush the brows up as you go along. And then I'm going to move on to the small mirror again, just get the baseline defined first. That's my main thing. Now I won't spend too long on these here because I am actually going to be doing an updated brow routine because loads of people have been asking for it, particularly as my eyebrows have gone a little bit thinner again. I think I need to show you what I'm doing to them. And then I got this guy here by SmashBox. It's their Brow Tech, so their little like brow trio thing, and I got it in the auburn colour, but to be honest it's not very auburny. Like it's kind of red based, but it looks more like a blonde ashy colour, which is kind of annoying because it looked more kind of brown red based, sorry, on the website. But I'm just going to put slightly darker colour through the body of my brows. So for bronzer, I'm actually going to try this guy, which I haven't even opened yet. It's a Bobbi Brown bronzer. It's their bronzing powder in Golden Light, which I think is the lightest one, and it's this really kind of light ashy colour. It's a little bit golden I suppose, but I like that it's more kind of a neutral ashy tone. I'll just use this Luxe Sheer Cheek brush by Zoeva, pick up some, and it's kind of a little bit dusty, so I'll just pop some onto tissue so it's not too strong. And then okay, it gave me a bit of a fright. Comes out quite strong, so I'm just going to make sure I blend that out. It is actually a really nice golden tone though on the skin, and there's no red in it, which is good for paleys. I usually always use whatever bronzing powder I use to contour my nose, so we'll see if the colour comes out okay. Should be okay. I'm going to move on to my smaller mirror again. It might actually be a bit too old, but hold on a sec. This is a little Sigma brush, the Blending E36. It's a performance brush. So the performance set by Sigma are like really small brushes. They're meant for detail work and precision, so it's actually perfect for this kind of thing. It's a little bit more kind of browny gold than I'd normally go for on the nose. I'd normally go for something a little bit more grey toned, but it's fine. Okay, so for cheeks, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely in love with this guy. It cost me like £3, maybe £2, and it's from W7, and it's the Cheek of It blush in baby pink. So I'm going to pick it up though and then pop it onto some tissue because it is quite strong, which I do a lot anyhow, and I do it with, like, say, a lot of pale clients. It's just so that the product doesn't go on too strong. I'd rather add on than having to like do damage control. And this is one of my Zoeva brushes. It's the Luxe highlight. So you can see even how strong that's going on, and that's me like trying to control it by dabbing it on tissue. So I'm just going to pick up my face powder again and my brush, which is my Real Techniques blush brush, and just dab the face powder over my blusher, which helps to just settle it into the skin so it's not so like in your face. Then for the lips, I think I might show you two lips, because in the video I was wearing a very neutral lip, which was a very natural naked lip, nude lip. So what I used was my Catrice Precision Lip Liner. This one is actually discontinued, but they're, you know, it would be similar to Subculture by MAC or any of those like really neutrally nude lip liners with a slight pink undertone. And put that all over the lip first and then do the outline. This was in the colour Lost in the Rosewood. They do have a new one, What Rose Would Do, which is similar, but it's a one you top. And then I used my Zoeva lip crayon in Nude Hero, which is just a very nude coloured lip crayon. So that's it with the nude lip. So this would be like, you could even, this would even be a fine bridal makeup if you wanted, like if your bride wanted something a little bit more defined, maybe a little bit shorter with the wings. But other than that, this would be definitely a really pretty bridal makeup, or even something you'd wear to prom if you wanted something like the opposite to the bridal thing, where the bride's, this is the bride's going a bit more. It'd be like, say, someone going to prom who wants to tone it down a little bit but still have something quite striking, and I think this would be lovely for that. So I'll just take off the lip and show you it with a slightly more kind of corally orange lip. I'm going to use this Catrice lip liner. I love the colour of it. It's a little bit kind of dry or draggy when you put it on. I think it's because there's glitter in it, which I didn't really know at the time, but anyhow, it's one of their long lasting lip pencils. It's waterproof and it's in the colour Reach the Peach. So I'm just going to draw that over my already dry lips. I think it's because of the glitter particles in it, that if my lips are dry, now it's fine if I've exfoliated my lips and they're well moisturised and I've used lip primer, but it's just, and it's a lovely like pencil then, but I feel like if they are on the dry side, I think it's the glitter that's in the formula, just gets caught in the cracks and accentuates like the cracks in my lips. Okay, well, apologies for the dry lip look, but it'll give you an idea anyhow. What I have that's similar is Lasting Sensation by MAC, which is like a nicer, it's a similar colour but it'll go on nicer. Anyhow, what I want to put on over that is this guy here by Bourjois, and it's one of their Colour Boost Glossy Finish lipsticks. It's in this gorgeous like corally orange colour, and this gives me that hydration that I definitely need on my lips. And what I love about these kind of crayons is, like, this is a stain, so as it wears away it leaves that colour behind it, which is definitely, you know, a good thing. So there you have it. That's it with a slightly more like corally orange lip, which I think looks gorgeous as well. So this would be a bit more maybe prom friendly, because it's a little bit more, you know, there's a little bit more going on with the lip and stuff like that, even though I still could imagine using this on the odd bride. But there you have it. So I hope you like this, guys. There will be a full list of products below. I will use these products again in upcoming videos, and I'll have more of a rounded opinion on them sometime in the future. But I hope you like this, and I'll chat to you all really soon. Slán!